Hello, I am Mac, at least for a day, and everything's going to be okay. So it's happening again. Sean Murray just tweeted a new emoji. He tweeted an Omega emoji. And for the uninitiated, Sean Murray tweeting an emoji with no context, meaning it's not like a retweet of someone else's tweet or a quote retweet or something. It's just an emoji with no other context to it. That means we're about to get another major update to No Man's Sky. So we know what the Omega emoji means already, or at least partially. We'll get to that in a little bit. But I'm sure that people are going to speculate that the Omega emoji, means that this is somehow the end of No Man's Sky, because Omega often means the end of something. Um, some people will think, oh, this means they're going to stop updating No Man's Sky. I don't think that, because there's another good reason it's the end of something. Because last year, Sean Murray said that the current updates that they were releasing were in a four-part series. So last year we got the Corrupt Sentinel Planet update, and then the we got like an expedition that was about bringing back the autophage race, which were kind of connected to the corrupt sentinel planets. And then finally, the third update was when they actually added autophages into the game, and we can, find autophages in certain locations. They're a robotic race, a new race in the game, and all of that. But that was three updates, and Sean Murray said that it was a series of four updates. So we'd been expecting to have the fourth update by the end of the year last year, but it never came. And now this update should be the final update in that four-part series. So I think that's what the Omega symbol means, that it's the end of the autophage storyline and autophage series of updates, and maybe also the storyline has kind of involved the Void Mother as well. So maybe it's the end of the Void Mother story arc or whatever. Other people speculating it's the end of the Atlas, which the Atlas dying has kind of been in the storyline and the lore for a long, long time. But I mean, they can't really get rid of the Atlas because the Atlas is in most of the major storylines in the game. Maybe they'll supposedly say that, I don't know, the Atlas has been replaced by the Void Mother or something, but I don't think so. I think it's just maybe the end of the Void Mother storyline and the Autopage storyline. But anyway, that's what I think that means. And of course, then the other thing that we know the Omega means is the Omega Expedition. So I'm going to keep this mostly spoiler free. There's a lot of information about stuff that's in this update, which I'm going to just stick to the things that are pretty obvious that most people already know is in it. Most obvious is that there's an expedition. We get an expedition pretty much every major update, so it's not really a spoiler to tell you that there's an expedition. And the reason we already know that there's an expedition, other than the fact that we always get one, is that Hello Games decided to play test this expedition, and they put it in the PC experimental branch. And so people have been playing the expedition already. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you much of any details about it, keep the spoiler free, except that there is a new feature that lets us start an expedition from our already created saves. So one thing some people have complained about with expeditions is they don't like having to start a new save for every expedition. They would rather just play the expedition on their main save. Hello Games, it seems, is kind of compromised on that. You can't do the expedition with everything that's on your main save, but you can start the expedition from the Nexus on your main save, and you can take some of your items and upgrades with you. I don't know exactly how it works, but so that's going to be a new option. You can start a new game for the expedition, or you can go to the Nexus, start the expedition from there and choose some of your items that you want to take with you. Um, I never had a problem with starting a new save of the expedition. In fact, I prefer it because I used to start a new save every time we had a major update. I've stopped doing that just because it was getting too repetitive starting a new save like every year when we had the biggest update. But I like starting a new game with the expedition and everything. But of course, since this new feature of starting it from your main save is added this time, I will be doing it. And I'll mostly just take important essentials with me to the expedition. Oxygen, ferrite, carbon, all the essential elements that you need to survive and craft stuff at the beginning of the game anyway. That will just kind of speed things along a little bit. But anyway, so that's pretty much the only feature that we can have confirmed to know that's in this update, other than, like I said, I'm not going to tell you some of the stuff people have discovered doing the expedition. I don't want to spoil that. But there's other stuff that we kind of know already because Hello Games did a trailer of the next big No Man's Sky update at the Game Awards last year when they also announced Light No Fire. And we'll talk about Light No Fire in a little bit, and also more of the possibility of them sort of stopping updates for No Man's Sky. But the two things we know that are almost definitely coming in this update that we saw in that trailer was new space station exteriors and interiors and a new ship type. So those two things were the only things shown in that little trailer at the Game Awards. So it's pretty for sure that those two things are also coming in this update. The new space stations were not in the PC experimental expedition, I don't think. I didn't hear that they were. I think they were just trying out the expedition objectives and starting an expedition from your main save and stuff. But other features that are in this update were not, well, for the most part. Like I said, I'm going to keep spoilers out of this, but for the most part, most likely what was on experimental PC experimental was not the whole update. So we're also going to get likely new space station exteriors and interiors. And of course, like I talked about, this is the last autophage update. And although we don't know anything for sure, this update will likely involve them in some way. I've said that I definitely think they're going to add autophages in space. Because currently autophage NPCs can only be found on planets. At certain buildings you can scan and it will make them visible because they're normally invisible. And that's the only place you can find them. They don't fly in ships. Ships that land don't have autophage NPCs in them. There's no autophages in space stations or freighters or anything like that. So currently the autophages aren't spacefaring, but I think what's going to be in this update is the autophages becoming a fully fledged race in No Man's Sky, meaning that not only are they on planets, but they're also in space stations, freighters, flying in ships, etc. So that's what I'm guessing. As far as the Void Mother goes and what else might be in this update, we really don't know. But those are the main things that we can kind of assume we might have in it. But anyway, let's talk a little about how I talked about how I don't think this is the end of No Man's Sky updates. This won't be the final update just because there's an Omega emoji. However, I do think it's possible that Hello Games may choose to stop doing as big of updates for No Man's Sky after this. So it won't be the total end of No Man's Sky updates, but it will possibly be the end of really big updates because we know Light No Fire is coming soon. Light No Fire is their new fantasy game that uses the same procedural generation that No Man's Sky uses. We don't know when it's coming out, but they've been working on it for 5 years, and the trailer they showed at the Game Awards looked to me to be pretty much feature complete. It looks like the game is far enough along that they could release it soon. So if they are planning to release Light No Fire this year, that means the concentration of Hello Game Studios may shift to Light No Fire and not as much to No Man's Sky. If they had a much bigger team, I would say, oh, they've got enough people they can support two major games and release updates for them both. But they pretty much confirmed that Hello Games is still like around 20 members. Sean Murray said something like that, and there was like 12 people working on Light No Fire. So I really don't think that's enough people to do major updates for two different games like Light No Fire and No Man's Sky. So the Omega symbol may also be indicative, may also indicate that they're not going to do as big updates for No Man's Sky. I'm sure they're going to still do expeditions because, you know, they're updating, and that may be part of it. Why they're changing the way expeditions work, they're making it so you can start it from your main save. I mean, that's been a requested feature, but it's also maybe a part of like streamlining the expedition creation process, because I think probably they will keep doing expeditions every few months, and they may add a few small features here and there, like Quicksilver items and, you know, small features and stuff. But as far as really big updates that add a new race or a new big storyline and stuff like that, I think they may stop those updates for No Man's Sky and just concentrate on small cosmetic things and expeditions. And Light No Fire will become the one that they do the really big major storyline updates and everything. This is all speculation, of course, and I really don't know. And for all we know, Light No Fire won't be coming out this year. It may be a long time till it comes out, but that's my guess right now, is that Hello Games is planning to shift their concentration um, from No Man's Sky to Light No Fire. But just like how they continued to update No Man's Sky while also creating Light No Fire, they've been doing that for 5 years. I definitely think they're capable of working somewhat on both. They were able to completely create Light No Fire to wherever it is now in 5 years, while also doing major updates to No Man's Sky. So I may even be wrong. Maybe they can update both of them with major updates, but it's also possible they may decide to do smaller updates from No Man's Sky from now on after this one. This one's most likely going to be a really big update, but after this they may make the updates for No Man's Sky smaller, and to some degree No Man's Sky updates have been getting smaller as the year goes by. So maybe they'll kind of stay at the same pace they have been, or who knows. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on all of that. I'm very excited about Light No Fire and also very excited about this update. Um, like I said, there'll be an expedition. As far as when the update will be, Sean Murray, it's Saturday, which is very unusual for Sean Murray to tweet the emoji on a Saturday. He usually does it during the week, but I definitely think that the update will be coming this week. Usually it's within a few days after Sean Murray tweets the emoji, and some people are saying it'll be on the 14th or the 15th. I think the PC experimental expedition ends on the 14th. That's why people think it will be either that day or the day after. And I believe we got a Valentine's, quote unquote, Valentine's Day update years ago, where the update was on Valentine's Day, February 14th, or very close to it. And I think they're planning to do that again. So that's why people and myself both think that the update will likely be on February 14th or 15th, around there. So yeah, so this week, once the update happens, of course, I'll be covering it. I'll do my first impressions video on all whatever new features have been added, and then I'll be doing the expedition, and that'll be lots of fun. So really looking forward to this update. Let me know what you all think about it, and I'll see you all when the update drops. I've been Mac. Thank you for joining me for a day, and remember, everything's going to be okay.